on this bumpy beer tasting from Night Shift Brewing out of Everett, Massachusetts. I have Viva Habanera. So the Viva Habanera is a rye ale with agave nectar and habanero peppers. It comes in at 6.3% ABV, and this is approximately 3 weeks old at the time of this tasting. This is gifted to me from Craft Beer Pours and Keep Sippin. So links to their channel will be at the end of this video. Says voted number one 2019 throwback favorite. I've always been a huge fan of spicy things, so experimenting with hot peppers and beer was super exciting. Using spicy rye in the malt bill accentuates the spice, while adding the agave lightens the body and gives it a touch of sweetness. I personally like to double down and drink Viva Habanera with spicy food for an extra kick. Mike O'Mara is the co-founder. So that was his little story there. The can art does remind me of, I think it's Castlevania, an old, like, what was that? It was in the 80s, I believe. The old Nintendo, the original Nintendo. So very cool. Looking into popping this one open. Throw it into my fresh glass I've never drank from before except water. The water went down nicely. Cryptic Project, this is Kelson Brewing Company's glass. So with the pour I gave it, the head on this, it has a yellowish hue to it. It does look a little bit more white. I got a yellow shirt on though, so I mean, kind of blends in a little bit with that. So definitely a yellow head, kind of like potato bread yellow, center like potato bread. The bubbles are fairly small. There's some medium ones mixed in. They'll probably expand to larger bubbles, but yeah, it has a decent looking head on it. The color of the beer itself is kind of a light amber, so orange to amber, and it does seem to have a bit of a haze to it. Yes. So nice looking brew. Let's go ahead in and get the aromas. In the aromas, first thing I am noticing is the agave. That punches you right in the face at first. Kind of goes into this, continuing on getting the agave, goes into a fruity type character, undescribable. I've noticed this fruity smell in other beers that I've had. Then as I continued to sniff on it, I started to get like a slight hint of a peppery note. Eventually did grow into the smell of what a habanero actually smells like. I start to notice that there might be a little touch of heat in the aroma. Also, there's a little bit of like a dark bread, like a dark spicy bread type note, which more or less coming from the rye malt that's used. So smells very appropriate. Everything that is basically stated is in the aromas. It smells really good. I'm going to go ahead and take my first swig, so cheers. flavors. Real quick, you got to pick up on that rye bread note. Because right after that, you're met with a bunch of heat. Habanero heat. Right from the beginning, it builds. Pretty much every sip you're taking, you are getting a lot of warmth. Feel it in the chest. This one's very spicy. Was finally able to actually taste some of the habanero flavor from the pepper itself without the heat. There was still heat in there, but it took probably about 4 or 5 sips, and I was met with this like real quick hint of, hey, I can taste the actual flavor of a habanero. Maybe a slight amount of like a fruity note mixed in there. I'm not picking up on agave in the flavor, but this one has an intense heat to it. It's got a low side medium body and about a medium carbonation. I did see that Brandon posted this video. That's why I wanted to go ahead drink this one first out of the package that I had received from Brandon and Trish, because I want to be able to go back and watch his video, but I didn't want to be tainted on what he might think about it. I wanted my first impression, so now that I know, it's going to be interesting to see what he thought about this one. It does have a lot of spice, and I like spice too. Tonight's actually the night we went to Kelson Brewing Company, and if you guys are on my Instagram, if you've seen my Instagram, BuMpY-isms on Instagram, at Instagram, I don't know, something like that. But I did have a nacho pizza, and if you ask Trish, it was a pretty spicy pizza. So I do like my hot stuff. I like this beer, works real well. It's really hot though, so if you're not a basic, I think they call them hot heads or pepper heads, I don't know, you may not like it. But if you like really spicy cuisines and stuff, this one, it definitely brings the heat. It's enjoyable. It's got a good flavor, and I recommend it. I recommend it to anybody just to just give it a shot, give it a try. So from Night Shift Brewing Company and their Viva Habanera, which is like a rye ale that's brewed with agave nectar and habanero peppers, is definitely one to try, I would say. So cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brandon and Trish. Check out their channels. Links will be somewhere around. Cheers.